Bebe, did you eat the pork?
No. Hi everyone, my name is Ava. Welcome to my YouTube channel. I'm back and I'm on my second episode, and today I can't wait to share with you another dish, and this one's endearing to me. It's called bichuelas or habichuelas. So this dish is commonly served in the western region of the Philippines, particularly in San Carlos City, Negros Occidental. They say if you're new to a place and you want to learn about the people's culture, you explore their food. So if you go to any carinderia in San Carlos City, you will see habichuelas or bichuelas being served. It's like their Mongo version for Cebuanos. Now, although it sounds like it's a common dish that they eat on a regular basis, this is also something that they serve during special occasions, like it's sitting right next to their lechon. So this dish is actually the homemade version of Hunt's pork and beans. It's mainly consists of white kidney beans. It's a legume, and it's locally grown in a farm area near a volcano that's an hour away from San Carlos. It's called Canlaon. This dish has a generous amount of pork, so you won't have to fight over that piece of pork, unlike with the can of Hunt's pork and beans. Like I remember, I have fond memories of that with my cousins. I'm gonna stop talking now and let's start cooking. Alright, so for our ingredients, we have white kidney beans. This is already pre-soaked. You can do that in order to shorten the cooking time. You can even soak this overnight. The ratio between the next ingredient, which is pork, with the beans is 1:1. So I have half a kilo of beans and half a kilo of pork. Next, for our spices, we have garlic. You just crush the garlic. And then we have onion. You cut that into quarters. Our tomato sauce and our condensed milk. This is to enhance the flavor. And of course, you have the typical salt and pepper.
And here we have a special ingredient called achiote, or this is commonly called anato in Mexico and Brazil. It's a condiment that is derived from the seeds of a tree called achiote.
And it has a mix of nutty and spicy flavor. So it kind of tastes almost like nutmeg and pepper combined. So that's achiote seeds. All right. Okay, so we're gonna move on to our cooking step.
Here we have a pot of water and we're gonna bring this to a boil. This is where we are going to tenderize our pork and beans, and it will take an hour or so. So it's the lengthiest part of the process, but it's definitely the most crucial one since it will help us achieve that melt in your mouth goodness of the pork and beans. But we're also using a pressure cooker, so that will speed up the whole process.
We're gonna put our beans into the pot and our pork. Right, and we're going to season that with salt and pepper.
While waiting for the pork and beans to tenderize, we're gonna go ahead and create our anato sauce. So we're gonna add the right amount of water into the anato seeds, and we're going to crush it so we can extract the flavor and the color. So we're trying to achieve that red sauce-like consistency, almost like a tomato sauce. In fact, just a bit of a trivia, this is anato seeds is actually considered a poor man's tomato sauce since it's easier to find in some regions in the Philippines, and it's also a whole lot cheaper compared to a packet of tomato sauce. So next, once we have extracted the color and the flavor, we're gonna drain or strain the sauce, and we're gonna discard the seeds.
so our pork and beans are finally tender after 2 hours of slow cooking. Now we're gonna move on to the next step. We're going to saute our spices. I forgot to mention at the start of the video that we will also be using spring onions to this recipe. So I'm gonna saute our spices. We have the onion. Wait for that to be translucent. Next, we're gonna put in our garlic. And I know you're gonna say there's too much spices, but it's all about the spice. So next one is our spring onions. Put the heat low, medium heat. After sauteing our spices, we're gonna add in our beans and pork soup. Bring this to a boil, and we're gonna season it with salt again, according to your taste. Like it might not be salty enough, so just add in a bit more salt. A bit more. Alright, so finally we're gonna add our, it's not a secret ingredient, but our special ingredient, which is the achiote. It's gonna turn red. Okay. So that's how it is. So just wait for it to simmer, like maybe around 3 to 5 minutes, and that's done. So now for our second recipe, which is the tomato version. This tastes the same, almost the same as the usual canned pork and beans that you buy at your grocery store. So let's put this into the heated pot. We're just gonna wait for the sauce to thicken. We're gonna add our tomato sauce. For this amount, one packet of 250 grams is enough. So we're gonna wait for it to simmer a bit. Alright, so now we're just gonna go ahead and add some sweetness to the sauce. So we're gonna add our condensed milk. I actually have some saved condensed milk from the previous cooking I did. So let me just go ahead and add according to taste.
And we're ready to serve.